Can you beat Minecraft without breaking any of the rules of Islam? Before we answer this question, we have to establish a couple of things. First, what are the rules of Islam? And second, which ones actually apply to Minecraft? From my research, the rules of what you can and cannot do in Islam come from two main sources: the Sharia law, which comes from the holy text of Islam, the Quran, and the 5 pillars of Islam. The 5 pillars are the foundation of the faith, so we need to make sure we follow these in Minecraft. The pillars are Shahada, the declaration of faith; Salah, the daily prayer; Zakat, charitable giving; Psalm, fasting during the month of Ramadan; and Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. Of these 5, there are really only 3 that we can follow and obey in Minecraft. Let's start with the easiest one, Shahada, the declaration of faith. In order to fulfill this pillar, followers of Islam are expected to utter this phrase: "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is Allah's prophet." So let's start up a new world and type these words in the chat to start off our run. Okay, boom. I've declared my faith and checked off one of the pillars. I know that first rule was easy, but just wait a little bit and see what else is in store for me. Let's get some wood, shall we? We have 8 wood. Okay, we just threw out 4. Okay, wait a second. Why would we throw out half of our wood? Let me introduce you to the second pillar that we have to follow, Zakat, or charitable giving. In the real world, Muslims who follow this pillar donate a fraction of their money to charity. In Minecraft, since money is kind of non-existent, I'm going to say that we will have to donate half of all the resources that I obtain. So if I get 2 blaze rods, I have to donate 1. If I get 20 diamonds, I have to donate 10, and so on. I know that this is harder than what Muslims do in real life, but I want this to be a challenge, so I think this will be pretty fun. Okay, so like once we've donated these logs, we can use however much of the wood we want in whatever way we want. We just have to donate like the base amount of resources. Okay, let's grab some stone. And we gotta throw half of it out. Ugh! Okay, let's make some tools. Okay, now that we have a little bit of stuff, let's grab like a bunch of wood so that we don't have to worry about that for the rest of the time. Okay, I think that's enough. Ooh, look at chicken. We can kill this thing. Not so fast, me. This is a good time to introduce you to the third rule of the challenge. I'll be calling it the Halal rule. The Halal rule is exactly what it sounds like. I will have to be killing animals using the Halal method, which stresses the importance of a living and healthy animal, a sharp knife for the incision, and invoking the name of Allah at the point of the kill. So, our guidelines in Minecraft will that it has to be a fully grown animal, we have to one-shot it with either a sword or an axe, and we have to type Bismillah Allahu Akbar in the chat every single time before we kill an animal. Oh yeah, also we can't eat or kill pigs. Alright, here goes my first halal kill. Just gotta type it in the chat. And we have to one-shot. If we don't one-shot, then we instantly lose the challenge. Whew. Okay, we did it. Okay, here's another chicken. Okay, now keep in mind, these rules stack, so I'll have to donate half of all the animals I kill. So getting food is gonna be a huge pain. We can't eat you. Ooh, this looks like a good cave. Okay, we got 8 iron and 12 coal, which really means we got 4 iron and 6 coal. Ugh. I actually hate just donating stuff. I hate it. I hate donating stuff. Okay, so we have 4 iron. That's enough for a shield and a bucket. We're going to need this bucket for later, and what we're going to do with the bucket is probably one of the most annoying things I've ever had to do in Minecraft. Alright, we need to kill some sheep for a bed. Oh, here's some sheep right here. Ooh, it's a skeleton. I hope it doesn't see me. Ooh. Okay, wait a second. Why am I scared of fighting one skeleton? Well, let me introduce you to a couple more rules of the challenge, both coming from the Sharia law. The first is, no murder allowed. Let me read you a quote from the Quran about this topic. And they do not call upon another God with Allah, and do not slay the soul, which Allah has forbidden, except in the requirements of justice. I want you to pay attention to that last part. Except in the requirements of justice. In other words, if a mob needs to be brought to justice, then we can kill him. So the official challenge rule is we cannot kill a mob unless they have attempted to hit us first, thus fulfilling the clause of not murdering unless it is in the name of justice. But hold your horses, we have another rule about fighting mobs. Let me take you back to the Quran with a quote about fleeing from a battle. If any do turn his back to them on such a day, unless it be in a stratagem of war, or to retreat to a troop of his own, he draws on himself the wrath of Allah, and his abode in hell, an evil refugee indeed. This means we cannot run away from a fight once it is started. or else we automatically lose the challenge. So if you're still confused, we have to let mobs hit us before we hit them, and we also cannot run away from them once we're hit until they're dead. Okay, so if we run away from this battle, it's over. It's done. Okay, come here, spider. He attempted to hit me, so I can hit him. Now all I need is enough wool to make a bed. Come here, zombie. Hit me so I can kill you. Okay, so let's donate half of this wool, half of this mutton, half of this, half of that, half of that. Can't use any of that. Now the challenge really starts after we go to sleep. So once we wake up, the hardest and most